Hi, welcome back to Mechanic Garage. Today I'm going to do the wheel bearing on the front of the 107. It was a little bit noisy, as I said in the previous video. There was no play in it, so obviously, you know, notice when you're driving, there's no issue on the MOT, but you get this droning noise, so it needs replacing. I've already got the part, so let's go and have a look at it, and we'll get it stripped. Right, got my tools out, most of what I think I need anyway. I'll get it jacked up, get the wheel off, and then we'll get it split and get the bearing and everything. Get the bearing out, that's what I was trying to say. And 17s, yep. Crack them before we lift it, just in case. Hear me. Leave the jack under. Right, we'll have to see what happens now, because typical old car style, everything's a little bit on the rusty side. Okay. ABS sensor. Yeah, this could be another issue with the ABS sensor if it don't come out. I'm pretty sure it'll need to come out. Yeah, it will. Same as the Peugeot did last week, last time. So I'll start stripping it, and we'll see what happens. Basically start unbolting, brake pipe off, ABS sensor wire off, which goes up inside the car somewhere underneath the arch, so I'll dig for that in a bit. Okay, get that off in a minute. That's a caliper hung up there out of the way. See if this will undo it. Yep, that's okay. Yeah, that moves. Split bit out of the track end. Not holding much hope of that coming out. There's about 0% chance of that coming out, so break it off as close to the stud as close to the wheel as you can. Wheel, hello. trap end nut, and then it'll shear it off. Then you've got to punch the pieces out. This is about one of the only bits that on here I haven't done apart for a while. Well, in fact, I don't think I've ever had it apart on this car. Put that back on so I don't batter the threads on anything. But then I'll have to get the broken bit out. Oh, I forgot there's one of them. What size is that? It's not a pinch bolt. There. Give that a bit of shock. Actually, at least it came out. And that's your hub off. Yeah, the ABS sensor pokes out past the bearing. Right. Oh, although there's no circlip in here, so that bearing must go up to it. I might not need to take it out. Right, sat in the vise, supported on both these sides. The centre piece, the shinier bit of the two, is what needs to come out. That bit there. This piece is your bearing. So in a press, which I don't have, you put something in. Sockets are always handy, various sizes, although it doesn't do them an awful lot of good when you start hammering them, but such is life. That will then batter this hub out of the bearing, bring part of the bearing with it, cut that off, press the rest of the bearing out with a hammer again. Be a circlip on the other side to remove it. Normally, so the last one I did, it was on the inside, so I'd take the ABS sensor out. Just got to be careful I don't damage that. So I'll put you back in the tripod and we'll get a bit noisy. Right, if I put you there, you should be able to see it coming down. Go down the size of the socket. That's working, but that's just a bit too snug and I don't want to get it stuck in there. I'll do it. It's a lot easier than they usually can be. Yeah, it always leaves the inner race on there, so we need to grind that down, get rid of a lot of the metal, crack it with a chisel and then slide it off. It's a piece of the inner bearing there. And that's the inside of the wheel bearing. Circlip on the outside, as we said. That hopefully will come out. And then knock the rest of it out. Right, I'll have a go at cleaning this up. Already seen a possible problem. The circlip hasn't got holes in it, it's just got little hooks. So I don't know how well my circlip pliers will hold that. For starters, just give it a gentle tap round. Yeah. Gentle tap round to free it, which it isn't doing. But then you run the risk of breaking them tabs off, then you're really screwed. Like that. Yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem. But there's no way the circlip pliers would have got anywhere near that because it's too tight. Need to crack it and free it, which I should have done first. It could be a big-ish problem. Right, that's actually loose now. Maybe, I might get away with that because that's pulling out here. I might be the luckiest guy alive. If I can keep the pressure on there, get the screwdriver in there, behind the clip. If that comes out, at least I can get 1/2 out, I can spiral it out. Get a thinner screwdriver behind here. So I'll tap that around again and try not to break it. Then I've got to hold it. Get a screwdriver in there whilst I need 3 hands. I need to tap this and then drop that screwdriver in. Like that, hopefully. Okay, so now that's there and get the bigger one in. Hope you can see this because this is magic happening. Right, we've actually got a chance of getting this out now. Because French, well, Toyota in this case, but wriggle it all the way around and get it out. That is almost out. Just need to persuade it to get out without breaking it, because if it breaks in there, could be another problem. To the end, there's no actual hole for my circlip pliers to go through. There's just that little cutout, and it was so tight it would never have come out with the pliers. And that end snapped, but by the grace of somebody, it came out. Give this a bit of a clean because this was what's going to hold the bearing in. Putting it back together is a little bit on the easier side. If you'd seen the 207 video, mind you, you wouldn't have seen that because halfway through the video that stopped working too. I've just swapped my mic over because 9 times out of 10 it goes flat before I finish. So the other one was on charge. I've just swapped it for this one that's now on charge. That was on charge. Right, that's against the 2 bolts, so it's a little bit secure, but I can't really, nothing really to clamp it onto. Same again now inside. Don't break the ABS sensor off. So I need to hit it on the outside of this, which will then free up the whole outer bearing and pull it down through it. Hopefully. So let's get noisy again. In theory, like this, it should come out. This will be harder to get out because there's a lot more resistance. Looks like it's moving. It is moving. Some of the bearings left. A bit medieval with it. You can probably hear the roughness in that. Well, that could have gone disastrously wrong. but it didn't. So there it is. That's all out. Just need to clean that up, put some grease in there so the bearing slides in. ABS sensor is so far still intact. It may unscrew and come out, but they rarely do. However, saying that, the 207 did. And these are the same setup. And that was the only one I've ever had successfully come out. Right, I'll get this cleaned up. I'll get the new bearing ready to fit. Here's the new bearing. They come with the ABS trigger wheel inside that with the rubber side on. Protective screen over it when you're in the box. Metal side is the inboard one. Rubbery one has got the magnet trigger in, or the, what's the word I'm looking for? Basically the ring that triggers the ABS, pulse ring, if I want whatever word. So that needs to go in face down, so that it's against the sensor. If you put it in wrong, you a whole world of problems. So that's now ready to go. Now I've cleaned this and greased the inside. That presses in from this side this time. Remember, that side down. I'll give it a bit of a tap just to seat it, and then we'll press it in. Once it's pressed in, you press on the outside, or this edge, which I haven't got a thing for. So you press on that one, that'll push it through, and then we'll put circlip in, press the hub back in. Show you that in a second. Just triple check it's right. Okay, that's going in all right, but I still need to press it in because I can't hit it all the way in. It's actually okay. Okay, that's on the right side. That'll go on there. Press it. I just need to get this to press it in the right place. Right, that was a few minutes balancing act to try and get that in there on the bearing. I managed to tap it in most of the way. I've had to put a spacer in, which happens to be a lump hammer, so this flats against there, and then turn this with my knee. So now all I'll do is push it in the last bit. You'll feel it go solid. And catch all the jiggly. And make sure it's seated all the way around the back edge, which it is. And you can see the groove for your circlip. So the next one, get the circlip back in. Because you don't want to be forgetting to put that in at this point. I may not have done that in the past. In years gone by, you've forgotten to put it in. Or you can think you're clever by pushing the hub and the bearing through first to then press it all in one go. But then you forget there's a circlip in there. It wasn't on one of these, it was something else, I can't remember what, but I'm trying to let you see what I'm doing. And circlip pliers, little hook. I don't like these circlips. There's nothing to actually hold them. Basically, get them on the tongs on the end and squeeze it together. It's not the easiest thing to do, and even harder to do it and show you, because it'll keep popping out. Keep them pressed in. Squeeze it together. Hope it don't twang, because that'll really hurt my fingers. Come on, just nearly there. You're nearly there, don't you? There. Ooh, I might get away with that. Might get away with just tapping that one in. And then I can get this one, do the same pretty much as I did getting them out. Just tap it round and we're in. Give it a bit of a double check, make sure it's seated. And that is your bearing in the hub. All I got to do now, get rid of this bit and press this into there, and then put it back on the car. Problem is you can't see when you're doing it. And I can't hear with the goggles. Hear with the goggles, hear with the ear defenders on, they just make me sound awful. Right. This is starting to move a bit. There you go. All good. So again, grease this up, squeeze them together. And I'll probably do it on that place. What you don't want to do is go any further through. I don't know if you'll be able to see on the inside. If you go past there's like two stages, like a gap in the middle. That's the second half of the back bearing. If you press against that, it pops out. So you don't want to do that. I'll get this in here. I'll move it so you can see, because I don't know if you can at the minute. That's now pressing on the back of the bearing on this half here. So when you're forcing it again, you're pressing against here, the other one will push through the first one, through into this second one, without popping the back race out like it did on there. Let's get there. Just force it in. Again, it'll go solid when it hits the bottom. There you go, that's all really in. If your socket's bigger than the end of this, the socket won't cause you any issues, and it will go all the way through. And there you are. Bearing in, all done. Alright, let's get it all back together. Now you remember before, there's a split pin in there that's not very, not very anything. It's seized in there. So what I'm going to do is wait until I've got it into the hub, so there's something to support it on, and I'll either punch it out or drill it out, one or the other. I've just given that a bit of quick clean inside there with a rotary drill, brushing a drill even, and now it's just a case of putting that together. There's a locating notch on the back of here. It goes into that slot, so you have to make sure that's in the right place before you start hammering, and don't catch the ABS wiring again. There you go. Where are we? There, the little peg goes in the hole, and those edges are the ones how far in it goes. Get the bolt in now, spin it all around, start putting it back together. Check those properly by hand afterwards. I've got no idea how tight that does them. I know it will snap things off, because it might have done that in the past. Drive shaft back in. Again, trying not to damage that. Drop the arm down. Far enough not to slip off. Right on cue. Get the button ball joint in. Give that a bit of a knock. Bottom nut back on. Click. That's that torqued to FT. Now there's a hole through that I've got to find. Put this little R-clip through. No idea which way it is. It was in there. Oh wow, what a genius. By accident that was. It literally just, it was already in line. Sometimes you have to dig them out and be a right pain to find. Track rod end. face them forward. This could be the only awkward bit. I don't really go buying a new one just because of that. So this is support the ball joint, so it's in place, and then I just need to manipulate the ends of these slightly and then punch them through. Right, you see there the threads, and then you've got the chewed up split pin here. Now I couldn't get it out, so I need to now try and straighten these edges up to make it more pin shaped, and then hopefully, oh yeah, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you snap a punch in there and then you really had it. But so far, so good. Really thin one, and I don't like using these because if they do break. That's one half out. And there's the other half. That was lucky. And considerably easier than it could have been. While it's there, I might as well put the nut on. And go and get another split pin. That's that. Torqued. Up. Pins in line, you can just about see it. And get a split pin. Split pin in and trimmed. And glove ripped. So that's tight, that's tight. I'll just check those in a second. Caliper pad back in. That fell out. There you go. That's a pad back in. That does go under it. Caliper bolts, spot a thread lock on them. Now I had a comment on one of my other videos that basically, have you never heard of torque? Which is why I've said it a few times recently. I think it was on the brakes on another car that I did, and carrier bolts more than likely, and he mentioned that. I can only assume he was meaning that I didn't have a torque wrench to click things together. Well, okay, there's specific settings on things, but when you've been doing it 35 years or 35 years or more, you get used to how tight things should be, how tight things feel, and it's just experience. So yeah, he's right. I have heard of torque. And yes, there are torque settings for every single type of bolt, every size of bolt. But ain't nobody got time for that. Plus you need like 14 bloody torque wrenches and everything, so. Using head bolts, things like that that are critical. Hoping that's like we'll do in a minute. Beyond that, you get to know how things feel. Click. Click. Yeah. Reconnect this plug. Can't see which way it goes. 50-50, it's always the wrong way. Click that back together and get that back up in there. Anyway, brake pipe goes back on. Just make sure this is tight, as I said before. Yes, it is. Wheel on, tighten that, punch the thing in. Job done. Wheel back on. I managed to clip that cable back up, and I've just spent 20 minutes looking online for the correct torque setting for the hub nut. It would appear 145 is right. There's so much AI crap on there now, it's like, you don't know what hell to believe. So, that doesn't sound very tight to me, but that's 145 newton meters as it says. So that will be tight enough. And all I need to do now, knock this little dimple in with a blunt chisel so I don't peen it too much. Not split it too much. And that'll stop the nut coming undone. So I've already tightened the wheel nuts up with the torque wrench, of course, and barring getting rid of the oily handprints like that. Take it for a test drive, make sure the ABS light's not on, and make sure it's nice and quiet. Right, quick test, and it's all right now, no droning. So that's it done. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and it'll maybe help you out getting your car done. And like, comment, subscribe. There's plenty more going on. This car will be for sale if you haven't seen the other videos. There's another one coming up with a quick clean up, and then it'll be going. And there's a Mini for sale as well if anybody wants a Mini. Thanks very much for watching. See you in another video.